Okay, sorry, we got waylaid.
No.
And Andrew has an agenda.
No,
here.
I don't have an agenda.
I don't have an
let
agenda.
everybody
Andrew has an
speak
agenda.
here. We always let everybody speak here. But you know, if you look at the basic per pupil, Ron, I don't know if you remember this, but I think the previous year that did not go up, and it's going up. What happened to the education shift money? I never heard a final thing about the education shift.
They shifted it again.
Back forward again?
Yep, they didn't pay back the shift from the previous biennium.
Okay.
And I think they may have added to it. I don't remember for sure, but they didn't pay it back, and that was 1.3 billion that they didn't have in their pockets.
Statewide.
Statewide,
funding,
yep. And there was no plan. I think the Democrats tried to put a plan in there, but I think that failed even on their side. They knew there wasn't enough money there to pay that back, even with a payment over time, which it's the only way it's going to. You're going to have to pay it over time.
Yeah.
There's no way to pay back that.
I thought and part of it was going to be paid for with the tobacco money, or did I read that wrong?
Well, there was
tobacco settlement.
One. It was a one-time thing, but I don't know if it was used for the education shift.
No, it didn't.
I don't think so.
I think it was just budget,
just
normal
to
budget.
balance the budget.
As usual, folks, I'm misguided.
Well, as usual, they want to borrow money. Here's the thing I don't understand.
That's usual.
Here's what I don't understand. You take a state budget and you borrow money from schools, you throw out a bonding bill, and somehow you call the budget balanced.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, well, I know.
What's wrong with that?
Well,
Yeah.
Are you delusionary?
imagine, so if I put my car payment on a credit card, is my budget balanced for the month?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, well, I just wanted
You're
to.
in debt more, but your balanced budget. That's an asset liability thing.
Okay.
Your income statement is fine.
Leave it to a CPA to set
Your
me
income statement is
straight.
fine. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know,
Down the road, it'll be in hell of a shape. But
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now, it's okay.
that's hey, I might not live that long.
Let's worry about tomorrow.
Yeah.
Some other time.
Yeah.
It'll take care of itself, won't it? Isn't that the song?
Yeah.
You know, it'll come up tomorrow.
Or how about the procrastinators? What is
Motto.
Yeah, it's tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow.
That's right.
That's
Because
what the
tomorrow never
professor-
comes. It's always today.
Well, the point is, and in our current political environment, tomorrow has come. I mean, we have borrowed and borrowed and borrowed to the point where the public schools honestly have no place else to go. They've dug themselves in a hole. There is no way to dig themselves out of a hole. You got to fill the hole in. And the hard economic reality is that the taxpayers no longer see public education necessarily as an investment in the future, but rather money down a rat hole to a large degree. Now, professional educators are going to see that entirely different. Of course, they're going to have their bias, and that's going to come forward. But we're throwing good money after bad, and it's become apparent there's no place to hide. The test scores won't back them up. This whole notion of, we were talking about it before, of
Achievement gap.
the achievement gap is something that is good money after bad, because an achievement gap really doesn't exist in nature. What exists is kids who learn and kids who don't learn. It doesn't make any difference.
And kids live differently. Each one learns differently, and if we're not holding the teachers accountable, which obviously
Right.
after their tenure we can't hold
Yeah.
them accountable for anything other than present,
Yeah.
which again comes from our president. I'm present.
Yeah.
I don't vote, but I'm present. So again, I guess if that's the leadership we're showing to our students and stuff like that, is poor.
And that just brings it back to, you know, what would we do? Okay, in a roundtable discussion here to fix education. I mean, let's just pretend for a minute that we actually gave somebody a voucher or a tuition tax
Don't
credit
say this. Don't say that.
to go to a parochial
Don't
private
say
school.
it.
Choice? We
What
give
would
people
that
choice?
do? What would that do? Empowering
Choice
people.
only exists in life.
Oh,
issues.
we don't get choice on. Oh.
No.
But what would that do? What would that do to empower the individual?
Well, here's the inescapable fact of nature is that at some point in time, I don't know if it's today, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years down the road, the public is going to demand A, accountability, and B, choice. If the public schools will not educate my child, give me a voucher so that I can send my child to school A, B, C, or D.
Well, you do have choice. You can choose between public school A and public school B, right?
That's like Walmart versus Walmart.
Yeah.
We're talking Walmart versus Target.
Oh, okay.
So, sir, what would you rather have, vanilla or vanilla?
I know.
Well, you could have French
Well,
vanilla.
I ask our local legislatures, and they tell me I can choose between Forest and Meadow Lake. That's choice.
Well,
That's their
yeah,
explanation.
there's more choice than that. You can choose between Robbinsdale or Osseo or Hopkins
Oh, my
or
goodness.
Wayzata. And we have a lot of people that are making that choice, especially Plymouth.
But the point being, in an ideal scenario, what the marketplace would evolve towards, and this is my theory, and it's only a theory, but on every street corner we would have, or every empty strip mall, we'd have Bob's School of Engineering, and down the street there'd be Margie's School of Home Economics, and the next street corner there might be, Phil's School of Engineering, and all of these.
Supply and demand would dictate it.
Supply and demand would dictate which educator would open what school in
Right.
what location, and the ones that thrived would succeed, and the ones that were deficient would fail.
Oh, don't say that word.
Fail.
Oh, no, we can't let anyone fail.
They would have to close their doors.
I want to bail out.
Well, that's option B.
It's always possible. But here's the thing. Here's another unescapable fact is that the public school system is not going to reform itself.
Nope.
They're not going. These people who've been in public education and apologized for it are not going to wake up one morning and go, "Have we done this wrong for
We've
the
been
last
wrong. Yep.
100 years?"
Yep.
They're not going to do that. Outside,
I will give up my pension so that we can teach one more child how to learn, to be more educated.
sure. You're off. You're dreaming again.
Yeah, give him another pill.
I
let's-
just had a 70s flashback. That's what that was.
Let's take the assumption in the short run, okay, that vouchers and tax credits aren't going to happen. It's just
In the short term, they're not.
in the short term, they're not. What kinds of things? I mean, what kinds of things do we want to see at the state level coming up here? What are some other reform ideas that we need to have short of vouchers and tax credits?
Well, one of them that was in the legislature, and I think it will come back, is they looked at teachers again, both from an evaluation standpoint and a tenure standpoint. Looking at it as a right currently, as opposed to earned.
It's 3 years, isn't
Right.
it, Ron? Yeah.
And
3
again-
years and you're a tenured teacher in Minnesota.
Yeah, again, K-12, we've got different systems out there. If we modeled it after the post-secondary, you earn your tenure. You don't get it at 3 years. It may come at 5, it may come at 7, it may not come ever. It's much, that's maybe a closer thing to the private sector where you have a job until you aren't doing your job any longer.
or the company loses a contract and
Right.
you're shipped off to.
Which goes back to our other
Yeah.
thing where we have schools that are not performing and people take their kids elsewhere, which is happening now. We've got open enrollment. So there is some choice out there.
And there
It's
is movement within districts.
right, and there's movement outside. Again, back to Plymouth. Western Plymouth, we've lost
Wayzata, right?
Wayzata,
Hopkins.
Osseo, and Hopkins. They're losing out there because they're going to somewhere where they have what they want. And they have the mobility to do it.
Well,
Not
that's-
everybody has that mobility to do that too.
Yeah. Well, the thing, too, is that no school, public or private, can be everything to everybody.
Right.
And the idea that the one-size-fits-all model, which is really public education, bring them all in there, mass them all in, teach them all cultural diversity, which I can't put on a job application anywhere. I mean,
Okay, if you're in HR, you can.
Yep.
oh, is it
Yeah.
HR?
That's a requirement now for HR. So we'll have a lot of HR people.
I learn something new every day, I guess. I learn something new every day.
I'm diverse.
But yes, 10-year reform is definitely something I think that we need to see and we need to have. And let me take a wild guess that our Education Minnesota friends are not going to like 10-year reform very much.